Welcome to another Odds HQ NHL betting preview video for Thursday, August 20th. I'm Ian Cameron. Let's see if we can give you a NHL winner with one of the two games taking place tonight, both of them elimination games. Let's go out to the West Coast, Western Conference action. Game 6 between the Dallas Stars and the Calgary Flames. Do or die for Calgary facing elimination. We've got the Dallas Stars minus 125 favorites in this game. The total is 5. In this one, shaded to the over at around minus 130. In looking at this series in particular, it's been a way more exciting series than I think a lot of people expected. I mean, a lot of people thought it would be a very tight checking, very low scoring series between these two teams, and a very physical series, not one that would be necessarily a high scoring series littered with all kinds of goals and pretty plays, but this has been actually a more exciting and more entertaining series, and really a more wide open series than I thought, and certainly a more wide open series than a lot of people thought coming into it. When you look at the way things have gone, you've got two teams that have been able to press the issue, push the attack, and for the Calgary Flames, as this series has gone on, the Dallas Stars have gotten stronger. It had been a back and forth series to begin. Calgary won games 1 and 3. Dallas won games 2 and 4, but Dallas became the first team to win 2 straight games in this series with a 2-1 win in Game 5. And when you watch this series from start to finish, like I have, you see that the Dallas Stars seem to be getting stronger, seem to be getting better as this series progresses, namely their top players rising to the forefront, which is what you need, at Stanley Cup playoff time if you're going to be able to win games. And we've seen Tyler Seguin, Jamie Benn raise their game. The two war horses, the two playoff veteran stalwarts that the Dallas Stars brought into the team in the offseason, Corey Perry and Joe Pavelski. I thought they've had a very good series, particularly in the last few games. They're no strangers to stepping up in big games, in big moments, in big spots, and scoring big goals for their teams and making a big play in those games. We have seen that from them in this series as well. The Calgary Flames as well, struggling defensively more and more as this series has gone on. They are finally showing signs of missing Travis Hamonic, as I thought they would going into the playoffs. Now, it didn't come back to haunt them in the series against the Winnipeg Jets, but we're definitely seeing this Calgary Flames team struggle at the defensive end. From a shots on goal perspective, they're really having a tough time. They've given up 30-plus shots on goal in 4 of the 5 games in this series. I mean, then one game they gave up 62 shots on goal. It's creating a heavy workload in between the pipes for Cam Talbot, and that's not something the Calgary Flames want to see. It's just been a big-time struggle for them. So we will see at the defensive end. We'll see if they can play a little bit better at that end of the ice tonight. Although, again, it's not going to be easy now that some of these Dallas Stars, forwards and some of their top players really starting to become a bigger impact offensively for the Dallas Stars. Calgary, it doesn't look like, the last bit of news I heard about his status, it doesn't look like Matthew Tkachuk is going to be on the ice. And as I wrote in the article that accompanies ththese videos every day at odds.com, I say, here a Chuck, there a Chuck, nowhere a cut Chuck. Did you see how I did that? Matthew Tkachuk, he's missed the last few games, and he's not going to be on the ice, it looks like, for Game 6 tonight in this do-or-die spot for the Flames. And it's not just the goal scoring and the offense that he can contribute that the Flames miss. Physical force, he really gets under the skin of the opposition and irritates the opposing players. Big physical presence. All of that's gone for the Calgary Flames without him. So they've been missing the multiple ways that I think Matthew Tkachuk can impact a game. And it's time for the Calgary Flames players in a game like this, down 3-2 in the series. It's time for Johnny Gaudreau, Sean Monahan, Elias Lindholm, Michael Backlund. Time for them to get going. Those are the top forwards. They've had quiet series. They've have been non-existent at times here in the playoffs. They've got to get it going. Sam Bennett and Dylan Dubé have had great performances in this series for the Calgary Flames. Credit to them. And they've been carrying the load offensively, but that shouldn't fall on their shoulders. They should be getting more from Johnny Gaudreau and Sean Monahan and Lindholm and Backlund. We'll see if they're able to step up like the best players on the Dallas Stars have. From a side perspective in this game, I lean to the Dallas Stars. They've got momentum. They've got the experience to close out a series. They did that against Nashville last year. I know they lost Game 7 against the St. Louis Blues last year in the second round. to the eventual Stanley Cup champions. But this is an experienced Dallas Stars team that I think's got it in them to close it out. And the Calgary Flames, to me, I'm not as sure about. I don't feel as strongly on the side, though, as I do the total in this game. That's where my actual official best bet's going to come from on this Stars-Flames Game 6. There's been a very distinct pattern in this series with the total. When the previous game has been low scoring, the next game has reverted to a faster-paced, high-scoring game. Game 1 had 5 goals. Game 2 flew over the total with 9 goals scored in it. Game 3 stayed under the total, went back to a lower scoring game. And then Game 4 flew over the total with 9 goals scored. And then things got back to a lower scoring, tight checking game again in Game 5, 2-1 for Dallas. And now here in Game 6, I'm expecting that pattern to continue, that we see a higher scoring game here, teams having the chance to score goals early and often. It's worth noting a trend of totals in elimination games here in the Stanley Cup playoffs, 4-1 to the over in the 5 previous elimination games here in the first round. And the reason for the over trend in these elimination games, it's simple to understand, really. The team trailing in the series, they have to open up, try to get on the scoreboard first, try to get that first goal. And then in the third period, especially if the team that's facing elimination in the series is the team trailing by anywhere from, say, a goal to 3 goals deficit in the third period, you're going to see an extended amount of time more than usual with the empty net and the extra attacker on the ice, and that opens the door for just a ton of late goal-scoring shenanigans and a potential late goal-scoring explosion. So that's why when I see a total of 5, like I do here for Dallas-Calgary in an elimination game, it's almost always an auto over bet for me, and that's the way I'm going to go here with this game tonight. And it's also worth noting these are 2 goalies that aren't used to playing this many games in a row and starting this many minutes on the ice in a game situation. Anton Khudobin has been the backup to Ben Bishop most of the season, but Ben Bishop's out. Cam Talbot has taken over the net from David Rittich because they have no confidence in David Rittich, or they've lost confidence in David Rittich. So you've got Talbot and Khudobin, the 2 goalies, not used to starting this many games in a row, and you're starting to see fatigue set in, and you're starting to see their performance level suffer because of the heavy workload. So that's another reason I think both teams offensively can have success tonight. So for the Thursday NHL betting preview video best bet here at Odds HQ, let's go with Calgary Dallas over 5 minus 125. That'll be the best bet for this Thursday. I'm Ian Cameron. Reminder to check out odds.com every day for great sports betting content, and check out all the great live shows and videos daily on the Odds HQ YouTube channel. Have a great Thursday. Enjoy the games and good luck. And I will be back with you tomorrow on Friday for another Odds HQ NHL betting